So it's an exciting day today at Antihero Studios. We got our polished version of the Relic collection screen in. This was one of the big features that we are gaming for, and you can see here's a placeholder version of it. So there's now 75 relics that you can collect during the course of a season across 5 rarities. And then when you go into each relic, you get to see the rewards you get if you find, the first time you find a copy of that. Plus, it tells you which heroes have a higher likelihood of dropping those. Very excited to show players this one and get their feedback.
We've really removed everything that's not critical. Trying to get the build in the store is a big unknown that it worries me a lot. So we're working towards that. And really we need time to polish what we have because we've put so many features in that, it usually just takes time to play, to get it right, get the balancing right. So a lot of work to do. The pressure goes up as you get closer and we're getting there. I'd say everything that's on this board probably needs to be done before we start the crafting. So why don't we estimate this? And then we'll know how much space we have for crafting. This is refactor plus you being able to send a link to a friend and then being able to join the game.
That part's
and being able to favorite your friends.
I guess let's just say we have one more full sprint, right? Yeah. And then in that time, the App Store prep work still has to go in.
Yeah.
And then the question is how much of crafting can make it, right? Is really the key question.
We need a skeleton crafting, like a trim down.
Well, it's trimmed. I've trimmed 3 times. So it's real skinny.
Wow.
Yeah, it's real skinny. Skinnier than me.
Frank he's a delight to have around you. Like, he's so positive and he's so hyped up, always full of energy. He somehow finds a way to, sugarcoat things, even though sometimes things are quite dire.
We have these basically 2-week sprints where we're focused on deving a certain amount of features in that time. And this is the one for December 9th to 19th. We just wanted to firm up on the remaining work needed to get that in. We prep for the January playtest that we're working through. What you see is essentially that process in action with the people involved, engineers, UI artists, myself, Andre. And these happen every 2 weeks.
I'm working on the relic opening screen. Since relics are the masterpiece of the whole game, we want to make it more juicy, more fulfilling. So now, when you're opening the relic, it won't be like a predefined animation where it just drops all the time from the same place. Yeah. And wherever you tap it, it will run away from you. So you actually are trying to break the relic of some sort, break the resistance of the relic.
Yeah, this is the replacement for the world boss, and he's huge. And we're just talking about how do we make him go through the environment without colliding with random stuff? And how do we make sure that if you shoot the leg, you hit the leg? The walk of a character is always heavily dependent on its speed and size, right? So I can't just animate a character without checking the size, matching it as what's the intended size in game. Because then if I do the walk and then I have to scale it, the walk itself is not going to fit the speed of the character anymore.
The truth about making games is everything is always tight. I was working on some animations because we're adding animations to all the enemies and they are starting to look really cool, but we made some systems and they were not working, so I had to fix them. Wait, where is it? We lost the guy. So yeah, we have this new enemy that has these thrusters in the back and we wanted him to have some VFX. So I was working on making those work. So you can see here, every time he attacks, he gets these purple thrusters, and when he charges, it gets this super nice effect. Let's see, now, boom. So yeah, I worked on a system that allows these VFX to spawn and be linked to the animation, but it's working in the end, surprisingly. Yeah.
The only thing which is kind of missing is making it a solid base form. Because right now it's what's happening?
Yeah, I almost want them to say, okay, remove the body kit, make the car as if it was stock.
Yeah.
And then
add the body kit.
Then add the body kit, because at the moment I feel like if I remove the body kit, I removed the car, which it shouldn't feel like that.
Yeah.
Like, this is the second version, and this was first version. Because that's the transition from boxy designs to everything's a curve of the late 90s.
We are like slowly improving, like iteration by iteration. We just change the things that we want, and all regions are like disconnected from each other. So you see, like there's 5, the center one and the corner ones. So for now we got the houses area done and the downtown area done, and we are missing, well, the one that I'm doing right now, the construction area, and the next one will be like these 2 ones, the center and port area. Well, right now I'm making like the basic setup to organize all of the layers of this environment. This is the construction area. It's all organized in different layers, so we can like decide what parts are like interactables or what parts are like static. Every object got like let's say like a box that it's around the object, and that defines the collision that the player will be making with the object. So that means that if you try to go through the object, you will get stopped, do the collision, and we need to decide that collision how big or how small it needs to be to fit every object. So that's it.
I think we need to at least spend some effort into making the mythics and the higher rarity relics feel better, more rare, more cool than the lower one. And if we don't do this, then I just don't think we're gonna get good feedback on it.
We're not even functionally all there, right? So,
We're not.
I mean,
But from my point of view, I think players will know that we are like just duplicating things to add more quality, and it's not gonna be well received from players.
Like we've been working on multiple things parallel.
I think like thinking through the flow of how do I play with Gonzo, that I know him from Discord or I know him from somewhere else. I think that's what we need to fix or have a solve for.
We know first-time user experience is rough. We know we're not working on it. We know people are having issues, like Maria, other people, my dad. If this is a system that people are more engaged with as they're more mature versus early, and if it's related to early, like first-time user experiences, then let's make sure we put in, like relic opening, like gacha opening, like those things people experience very early on. Combat-related things, all the stuff there, right? That matter more. Chest opening in the map. So yeah, I leave it. I think that's kind of the high-level directive in terms of what we should be thinking about. But in terms of the detail, I think we kind of take it case by case.
I think the most important is how can you play with a friend? We need to solve that problem, not figure out like Discord or whatever. We need to figure out, you've got a friend, how do you play together?
I think there's a lot there to finagle in terms of.
What a word! This guy should be a producer. Huh?
That's good. It looks like we're moving well. I mean, some of the screens are looking great. I think the relic collection stuff is turning out great. Relic opening is turning out great. The skill trees are, a lot of labor of love on Josip and Gonzo, and
They do great.
credit where credit is due.
Let's go!
But you know how Ryan the cat was already calling us unk, which is the Gen Z term for your old. By putting the current relics, if I put a pager in here, they're not even gonna. Our target audience is not even gonna know.
What are they expecting? Skip video?
He made a video about the relics ranking, and all of them were like bottom tier. I don't understand them. And then the only one that it was high tier was the cup noodles.
Because he gets it.
Universal.
Well, exactly.
Guys, I need to work.
Okay, guys, we have to finish up.
We need to work. Come on.
Yes.
Let's finish up.
Damn, Juan, when he gets some good feedback from Frank, he just lights up. It's just the fuel, and he just made Frank super happy with some new tools, and he's beaming. He was down at lunch, and he's beaming now.
Yeah, I'm a systems designer at heart, and that means I think in systems. And so when someone gives me a system in which I can just use as much as I need to get something done instead of relying on an engineer to help me produce a piece of content, I mean, it just opens the world. Best way to describe it. It's like you rolled a 777 on a slot machine and you got money coming in for days. Do whatever you need to, you know? What do you want to buy, you know? What do you want to buy with $1 million? You know, you want to buy this? Okay, go get it.
What will you do with $1 million?
I would bring all these guys to a nice dinner.
Wow, look at that.
Oh, that's kind.
And then
That's an
I would
expensive
travel
dinner
to-
here.
I would travel to Japan.
Yeah, is it gonna be like a Michelin star? We be talking, or are we eating at?
Michelin star, Michelin
or are we
star.
eating at the corner?
We buy a restaurant and we label Antihero Restaurant.
If you're gonna spend on Antihero restaurant, it's probably better to just inject into the company directly, so we have some more runway. just out of.
Frank, don't depress me.
This is less Aaron Sorkin and more The Office, to be honest.
All right, guys. So let's actually really focus in on this one, and really test out the skill tree and test out relic collection when you get relics, like all of those things. All right, let's go, guys.